Good evening to you, everybody. We're going to take a quick little look at what's going on across the region. Not a whole lot to talk about. Nothing much has changed, but we are taking a look at um, the cold temperatures that are expected. This is going to be one of the coldest nights that we've had for the winter, and it's going to be dangerously cold out there. Oh yeah, and if you'll notice, trying a little different mic tonight just to see how that works. Notice something um, when I was listening to my broadcast last night that I didn't really care for. So we'll see if I can get this one to work, or maybe there's an adjustment I need to do on the other one. We'll see. But for now, we'll give this one a try and see what happens there. But anyway, there's that big low, or that big low. There's that big high pressure system that is sitting right over North Dakota and bringing us the cold temperatures right now. Minus 24 in Rugby. Actually, let's just zoom in a little bit here. Let's straighten this thing out just to get a little better look. Minus 17 around Rugby, 15 in Minot. Minus 9 right now in Jamestown. Grafton, minus 13. Fargo, or around the Fargo area, minus 9 to minus 15. So plenty of cold temperatures already in place. We take a look at the satellite. Once again, high pressure overhead, clear skies, not a lot of wind. Just the recipe for just a cold night. So what little wind we do have is going to really chill things off, and so that's why we're really stressing this dangerously cold type of situation, because just a little bit of winds, we're going to be seeing wind chills right around 50 below, possibly even colder. So let's get on over to forecast. So here we see just normal temperatures and about what the current model thinks is going to be low for the night. So we got, generally in the 30s below zero in the northern part of the Red River Valley. Otherwise, a lot of 20 belows in through the west of Dickinson, or west of Devil's Lake, closer to that Rugby area, and then down through Jamestown Valley City, and then down southeast through Wahpeton. Rest of the area, some teams out in the northwest, minus 5 or so down in the southwest part of the state. And that's as of 6 o'clock in the morning is what that's about the temperatures we're going to be expecting. A lot of, mostly around 20 or so, 20 below across northern parts of Minnesota. As we get through the central parts, teens to 20s, and, right around 10 in the southern part of Minnesota. Wind chill wise, we'll flip on over to that real quick just to see what this particular model is just thinking as far as wind chill, not windshield. And it's just, as we said, as we've been saying all week long, tonight's just going to be one of the coldest nights that we've seen. So very little wind, not much in the way, but even so, just because the temperatures are going to be right around that 30 to 30 to 35 below in some areas, we're going to be seeing wind chills right around that minus 50 degree mark. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a station or two that is going to wind up showing even colder than that. So it's just really, it's going to be it's going to be a miserable night out there. So make sure if you're going anywhere tonight, pack that extra stuff. Pack your snow pants and your boots, and make sure you have your hat and gloves, because let me tell you, this is the stuff that cars stall in. So, and you don't want to be caught out in the middle of nowhere with nothing on, with just a coat. You definitely want to have layers tonight, people. It's going to be cold. So thankfully one of the coldest nights, but just please, I can't stress it enough, especially if you're not from around here. This is cold even for us, but we know you layer up, right? I mean, that's just what you do. Constantly tell my kids, they take the bus for sports a lot of times. So Boy, on a night like tonight, I'd be sending blankets, and I'd probably even follow the bus a little bit, just because. And we did have one stall out last year, and it was one of the coldest nights of the year. And some girls did get cold, but thankfully, my daughter had her blanket with, so I think she was okay compared to some. But yeah, it's frigid out tonight. It's going to be cold. Even -20 for wind chill down in the southwestern part of North Dakota. That's pretty good for them, considering they don't have any snow. So, yep. And then as we go along through the day, it warms up a little bit down in the southwest. Again, they're going to have a little more sun, no snow. It really takes a while for this for these temperatures to rebound. Now we're still looking at just the wind chill. Or let's just jump back to normal temperature. There you saw 20 below still for wind chill as of 3 p.m. tomorrow. Normal temperature, just actual temperature, we're still looking at 5 below, and that's kind of going to be the high for the day across the eastern part of the state. Thankfully, the west will rebound, like I said, 20s, but wind chill values are still going to be in the teens down there. So still just cold. It's not really going to rebound a whole lot. So, you have some of these, we're going to jump back here, and we have these wind chill warnings, and they actually expire at noon tomorrow. The advisory as well. I would really expect, I would not be surprised, maybe once this warning goes away, that they reissue at least an advisory across the eastern parts of the state for the remainder of the day, and even into possibly even into Friday. It tries to warm up a little bit just because we have that quick little system that moves through, and I'm going to show you that right now. I remember that little low pressure that came zipping out of Canada, just might give us a little dusting of snow. Right there it is, Thursday late in the day. Here is 3 p.m. Central Time, Thursday, 6 p.m. Again, just real light snow. 9 p.m. on a Thursday night reaches most of the eastern part of the state, pretty much out of the west. And then by midnight, it's mostly out of North Dakota into most of northern Minnesota. And then by 3 a.m., still kind of hanging around through Minnesota. And then by 6 a.m. on Friday, it's mostly off to the east. But very dry, very light, really not going to dump more than maybe an inch in some areas at most. But what this is doing, unfortunately, is instead of allowing the temperatures to come up at the right time of day, especially in the areas like in the east, why it's just going to remain colder in the east is because it's kind of coming through Thursday night is when the warmer temperatures are going to be coming through. Well, by that time, obviously, we've lost the sun. So maybe instead of dropping in the evening, it's going to stay steady a little bit more. It won't drop quite as fast. But the other thing it'll do is once this passes and we get these northerly winds again on the backside of this is going to bring in, well, there's our thickness lines. It's going to be bringing in some colder air from the north. So, we're going to be looking at winds out of the northwest once again. And, now this is Friday morning, unfortunately, that we're going to be having northwest winds. Well, what's that going to do with the temperatures? It's going to keep us cold on Friday. So not quite as cold Friday morning. We're looking at lows -3 across much, I should say 5 below to 15 below across the north, right around 0 or so across, 5 to 15 below in the north, right around 0 in the south. And these are lows. So you're going to be looking at probably some wind chills once again in the -20s in the northern parts of the state. Again, not as cold, but yeah, it's still going to be chilly Friday morning. And yeah, thanks, little low pressure system that came zipping out of the Canada, I tell you what. But anyway, what do you do? So yeah, it delays some of that warm. The next little system that comes through, remember, I kind of mentioned something on Saturday, tries to warm us up overnight, actually, as this system moves into the area, Friday night into Saturday morning. Here we are Saturday at noon and 3 p.m. and mid 30s, possibly 40 down in the southwest. Here's your freezing line from Stanley to Minot to, I guess that's probably Valley City and just to Castleton or so. And then everybody to the northeast, it cools off quite quickly, but still at least, you know, remember yesterday I said what the Weather Service had low or highs in the single digits. I said likely it's going to be highs closer to the teens. There you have it. That low pressure is going to come in and actually help warm things up a little bit. Maybe not quite as much as we'd hoped for us here in the Northeast, but obviously you down in the Southwest are going to be just tickled pink, I would imagine, with seeing 40s back into the forecast. So this is, again, on Saturday. So for all my family and relatives in Bismarck, you're going to be looking at 35 degrees. Down on Linton, probably even, 35 to 40. So you're looking at a decent day at least on Saturday. We're going to take a look at the winds that's going to be associated with this little system that moves through. That might be about the only little kicker with this, obviously, when this system does kind of roll through, along with the chance of precipitation. But looks like we're going to have westerly winds at 15 and probably going to be seeing some gusts in there as well. We're just going to take a look at the sounding. And yeah, we're probably going to see 15 with gusts to 30 or so at times as this system moves through. So yeah, you take what you get, I guess. I mean, it's hard to warm temperatures up this time of year into the 40s without getting some kind of wind. That's North Dakota, right? I think we're kind of unfortunately used to that. So warmer temps down in the southwest, but you're going to have to deal with the winds. A little bit cooler to the east and the north, not quite as windy. But again, the other kicker to this is going to be for us in the north is here comes the precip. Now this is Friday night, or early Saturday morning at 3 a.m. And snow kind of by this time is in the northeastern part of the state, into northern parts, northwestern part of Minnesota. And then there also looks like the maybe start inching into the northwestern part of North Dakota as well. Trying to get some mix down in the southwest. Again, this is pretty early in the morning on Saturday. This is 6 a.m. Tries to, looks like this model is bringing some rain and maybe even some freezing rain possibly down in the south central part of the state, down in the southeast. And then as we go through, and again, remember yesterday I said probably this low is going to move a little bit further south than what the model currently is showing. Now it's further south. I said it looks like probably, I would guess, most of the north is going to get some kind of snow. And that's what's going on, and that's kind of what not surprising. It's just what's been trending that way, what the models have been doing, and sure enough, right now at least this model has now trended to go a little bit further south. We'll see if that holds. I kind of think, right now this probably looks like a pretty decent track, but unfortunately is going to bring, a good 1 to 2 to 3 inches of snow or maybe more in some areas. We'll take a look at the actual forecasted snowfalls here in a bit. Here we are at Saturday evening at 6 p.m. That snow just kind of lingers and moves south a little bit. This is 9 p.m. Midnight, Saturday night, Sunday morning. And by that time, this next high pressure moves in. And guess what? North winds, high pressure, clears it out, cold air. Let's go back to our temps. Okay. Saturday warms up a little bit when that system moves through. A little bit stronger westerly winds here. Maybe some mix of rain, mostly snow in the north. And then as it moves south, it carries with it another batch of just cold air again. This is Sunday morning. So we're looking at temperatures 5 below, 10 below across much of the north, to around 10 to 15 above down in the southwest. Wind-wise, gusts with this associated now, you're looking at 25 or so on the back side of the system. I would guess, with some of these, well, I'll draw it out here. With this area here, most likely is moving, from north to south. So overnight, we're going to see some gusts to 20, maybe even 30. So again, wind chills probably closer to that 20 below mark as this does kind of move through and things clear out. It's going to be another chillier night and early Sunday morning. As far as accumulation goes, here's this first little system that moves through Thursday night into Friday. And, maybe 1 to 2 inches. It's so dry, it's moving so fast, really not going to bring a ton of snow with this at all. Very light dusting in the northwestern parts of the state, but most of it's going to be northern Red River Valley and through northwestern Minnesota. That one quickly kicks out, as we said, spreads to the east, moves in through Duluth and International Falls and Ely, where again, maybe 1 to 2 inches falling there. And then it kind of gives a little break. Here comes that next system on Saturday. And right now, it is showing 6 inches of snow in parts of the northwestern parts of Minnesota. I think it's a little heavy for this type of system. With this type, it's coming out of the northwest. It's dry. It's coming out of Alberta. It's not really tapping into a lot of moisture, or it doesn't have time to anyway. So 6 inches just seems like a lot. So right now I'm not really buying that amount for northwestern Minnesota. I think 4 inches possible, just because that just seems like the high end of these types of storms. But otherwise, you're looking at what is a little more typical, 1 to 3 inches across the north is probably what would be a safer forecast. So that is, that's late Friday. We'll call it early Saturday morning through the day on Saturday, and then as we go into Sunday night, some of that snow kind of spreads down to the south with so we'll maybe get a little light dusting into the southern parts of the state. Probably not so much down in the southwest, but I would think more south central, southeast, you might pick up a half inch of snow, but that's really about it. Most of it's going to be to the north. So that little system moves through. Here is the temperatures on Sunday morning according to a longer range model. Sort of fits with what that short range model just showed you. As far as lows, this one might be actually a little bit warmer, but I mean, it's still pretty close. Within that, I said -5 to -15 across the north, and that's about what this one is showing for Sunday morning. So warms up a little bit, especially once again down the southwest. We still remain cold off in the east. And then finally, Monday, here comes the reprieve for everybody. This is Monday now. So we're looking at highs 45 degrees possibly down in Dickinson, maybe 20s in the eastern parts of the state, teens into northwestern parts of Minnesota. Those temperatures sort of remain overnight. It actually really doesn't get very cold Monday the way it looks right now. And then into Tuesday, boy, I mean, 30s across much of the state. Be a little cautious with that. Just there's still plenty of snow out there. So, even though this is showing 36, 37 across the Red River Valley, and actually, let me zoom in so hopefully you can see this a little better. That's going to be, mid 30s possible. I'll probably want to see a few more runs before I buy it, just because it seems like we fall into that trap quite a bit where, temperatures or models want to warm us up. Excuse me. And it just never quite happens that way, just because we have to deal with so much snow melt. But nevertheless, very very good indication of at least warming trend. This is Wednesday morning, lows teens to 20s, not bad. Wednesday during the day tries to cool us off a little bit in the east, remains seasonably mild in the west, but we're getting kind of out there a little bit too. Here we are on Thursday, and again, nice temperatures west, decent temperatures in the east. Not going to complain with those, especially with what we've been seeing. And then it kind of cools us off a little bit, but that's getting pretty far out there. That's Saturday morning on the 12th. So you can take that with a grain of salt. But so basically, what we're looking at, real cold temperatures tonight, the coldest of the year. Going to rebound a little bit Thursday into Friday. Friday tries to rebound with this next, or Thursday night into Friday tries to rebound with this system that moves through. But that first little quick one really holds the temperatures down. The next one moves through again, lets the west kind of warm up, but holds the east down as far as temperatures go. And then it takes just a little bit, and just that extra day on Sunday for these temps just to come back, and then finally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we start to see improvements. So, and it looks like right now that overall Saturday is going to be that main time frame for snow, mostly across the north, 1 to 3 inches, maybe pockets of 4 in the northwestern parts of Minnesota. We'll see if that what the models continue to trend there, but generally that's wind-wise not a ton of wind, but still some gusts of 30 down in the southwest, probably 20s in the east. So with the fresh snow out there, 1 to 3 inches across the north, you're definitely going to see some drifting across portions of northern North Dakota. We're just going to take a quick one last little looky-loo out, just see what kind of systems are moving through. Not much. Dry one, that's on Wednesday, and this is Thursday. Again, a little quick hitter, and that's about it. Pretty much like we've been talking about lately, quick little hitting systems, maybe drop 1 to 3 inches of snow when it moves out, cools things off a little bit, but then we're able to rebound and we're seeing temperatures fairly mild. So that's generally the forecast. I mean, kind of been going with what we've been thinking, I guess. I'm just going to check a couple things here. I'm not missing anything. Yeah. So yeah. Please, I should have mentioned this in the beginning. Subscribe. Watch this live. This is meant to be watched live, just because it's easy to tune out when it's recording and you're like, yeah, whatever. Watch it live. You can ask questions. You can participate, and that's really what I want. I want some participation in here. I want to see some chatting and asking questions, and that's really what I want to be here for. So I do thank you for those who have subscribed or liked or shared or whatever you've done. Keep doing it. The more of these hits I get, the better this page gets, and the more of a reach it gets, and then it just it's going to become a great thing. So stay warm. Make sure you have your survival kit tonight. And tomorrow I might be on here late. It'll be closer to 10 o'clock. And then Friday I cannot. And then through the weekend, probably not as well. So tomorrow later will be the last one for the week. And we'll take a look at the system coming in on Saturday. And we'll see what's going on there. Have a good night.